I want to get to this big interview, everyone. No word yet from Carly Fiorina on Donald Trump's tax plan, but fellow Republican presidential candidate Rand Paul has his doubts. I spoke to the Kentucky senator to get his thoughts on Trump's proposal. Here's what he said.
There's still some real questions. Is his tax plan going to cut taxes or raise taxes? I saw a report yesterday that indicated that he really wasn't intending on lowering taxes, that it was going to be revenue neutral. And I often tell people, if that's what we're for, I'm going home, because I actually want to significantly lower taxes so there's more money left in the private economy and more job creation.
Is he not a fiscal conservative?
I don't think he's really a conservative at all. And, he supported President Obama's Obamacare, the concept of it. He supported the government stimulus. He's supported higher taxes in the past, and I think still does support higher taxes. But the thing that really, I think, disqualifies him from being considered as a conservative is that he supports the government use of eminent domain to take property from a small property owner and give it to big corporations like himself. And I think that's inconsistent, really, with any theory or notion of limited government.
Some people have pointed out that in some ways it's healthy because he's not necessarily beholden to a party. He doesn't have views that are consistent with one party or another. And we've kind of gotten to a stage in American politics where people, let's face it, are kind of fed up with parties. That's what he's tapping into.
Maybe, but I guess I see him as the consummate insider. He's the guy who buys influence with both parties. He's been a supporter and has tried to buy influence with the Clintons. He's been a supporter and bought influence with Harry Reid, Charlie Rangel, with a host of people really on the far left of the Democrat Party. But he does it, he says, for business reasons, and his direct quote is, so they'll do whatever the hell I tell them to do. That's why I ran for office, because I had a distaste for people who buy and sell politicians and use and manipulate government to make money. That's sort of crony capitalism. Everything Donald Trump is about is what I ran against and what the Tea Party was opposed to.
Ethically, do you think there's a fundamental problem there?
Well, I think there's a problem with him being the Republican standard bearer, if he were to be so, because he's been supporting Democrats most of his life. In fact, he's been a Democrat most of his life. So, no, I don't think he's a true conservative. In fact, in many ways, I think it's an act.
Speaker Boehner shocked everyone on Friday, announcing his resignation. How do you view that in terms of the overall Republican Party right now, and who do you think should be replacing him?
I travel the country a lot, and I talk to conservatives, and the grassroots conservatives are upset with the politicians in Washington. I'm upset with them. We won the House, now we won the Senate, and we're not using that power for anything. Congress has significant power if it will exert it. Our power is the power of the purse. All of the regulations that we object to that President Obama has passed, we have every ability to defund every one of them. And now he could veto it, but then we would be at an impasse. We're not even willing to get to the impasse. We lay down our arms and we preemptively have surrendered, and the grassroots is unhappy with it. So the grassroots wants more to be done than what's happening.
But let's face it, this is part of the reason why someone like Donald Trump is succeeding so much, because there's been this splintering within the Republican Party. There's no cohesiveness. How do you bring that back? You need it to win the election.
Some of it could be the splintering, but some of it could be the ineffectiveness of the Republicans to do anything or to use or exert their authority. So I think really people want us to stand up and really stare down the president and say, Mr. President, we're not going to spend money on this or that and to control the power of the purse. We have the ability to do it. We can't promise that we win the ultimate battle, but we can enjoin the president in a battle, in a standoff, and say, we're not going to spend money on this.
All right, more from my conversation with Senator Rand Paul next.